When you say make America great again, which period are we talking about? The period when women couldn't vote? The period when we were hanging from trees?
I'll answer.
Or like the crack era? Which period in America are you trying to make America like
So I actually think that I would totally rock a hat right now that said make Black America great again. Because Black America...
make America. We're talking about make America. That wasn't the question.
I am answering your question.
Which period was America great that we're trying to replicate? Which era was it? Tell me.
I think... I'll answer your question. I'm ready to answer your question.
Which era was it?
What?
Which era was so great?
Here's the thing that you guys are forgetting. America was actually one of the... Slavery was all over the world. All over the world. America was... No, I'm not saying it's okay, so why are you saying, oh?
Amen.
The question of whether America was ever great depends on how one defines greatness and whose perspective is considered. America's history is marked by achievements and ideas that have inspired many, alongside significant injustice and challenges that cannot be ignored. Here is a balanced view. Watch and pay attention, and I will share my thought later.
America was one of the first countries.
I want to like you so bad. Because you're so smart. I want to like you so much.
I want to hear you. I want to be able to hear them. I want to be able to hear them.
If you can't answer the question and you're just going to boo when I say slavery was all over the world, which is a fact, why are you booing a fact?
Because you're making light of...
No, I'm not.
You're making light of the enslavement of people that look like us. You can't make light of that. That ain't nothing you breeze over.
I haven't even finished the sentence. How am I making light of anything?
You started with some bull.
Make America great again. My comment is, do you accept that that could possibly be construed as a racist remark? And most people, a lot of people go, how could that be racist? Make America great again? I said, so just ask yourself from an African-American experience, when was it ever great in America for the African-American? When was it great? So if you're making it great again, it's not including them.
So what she was trying to say and did say eventually is that America was one of the first countries to, she said, free our ancestors. Nope, it was one of the last. So it's just revisionist history. And then the question is, why? Why are you doing revisionist history?
Because that money is real nice, right?
No, I want an answer to that, because that's your slogan, make America great again. When was America great for you?
Okay. That is, American great is our freedom.
Freedom. Your freedom? Or all of our freedom?
Everybody's freedom.
Everybody's freedom. So yes. When was America great for all of us?
When our forefathers.
Forefathers. The ones that own people?
No.
Which ones?
You have to look at the history. You got to look at the history.
I am. I'm asking you. Which for? George Washington owned 300 people and went after a few of them for running away. They signed a constitution that made black people, enslaved black people, 3/5 of a human being. I don't think it was great then. If you're asking me, a black woman.
Right, but you have to understand.
What?
Our history. Mm-hmm. To get where we are today. What's happening is our media.
No, Jackie, because again, if you can't walk me through the greatness of America and how you want to restore it to a place where it was great before, your whole argument falls apart. So walk me through when America was great.
Okay, so America has been great forever. Now the problem is the people.
For who though? No, I can't wait, because you need to answer the question. And again, you call up, and I'm glad, Mississippi. I love the state. You're a Trump supporter, which I want to get into the reasons behind that. But it's all around this freedom thing and this greatness thing, and we need to settle on what that looks like for you. And for me, and then for all of us, because if it's not going to be great for all of us, then it's not great for any of us, Jackie.
Well, my question is, why don't you think it's great? Because I've grown up, and
Okay, no. You answer my question first, please.
Okay, so you're asking me when it was great. It's been great. It has been great.
It has been great. So slavery was great. Trail of Tears was great. The Chinese Exclusion Act, great. The Japanese internment, great. That was great. Jim Crow was great. Back of the bus, colors only water fountains. Let me see. Brown versus Board of Ed. Oh, the throwing of tomatoes at little girls. The bombing of a church with little girls in it. That was great. The hanging of hundreds and thousands of black people, burning down towns in the 1920s. The draft riots in New York because of people having to fight for freedom. Freedom is liberty is everything, right? Liberty is everything. That was a great America to you?
Okay.
Okay, but you can't just say, okay, was it great or not?
It's people that make it bad.
People make it bad. Yes, racist people, horrible people, genocidal people make it bad. You're absolutely right.
It's all about people. People that...
America became great when the Founding Fathers put pen on paper in 1776 and decided to build a country based on laws.
Right.
That was greatness.
That was awesome. Yeah. Other than the slavery, obviously, that was terrible. And
we did have that. Yeah, we did have that. And the Indian thing, right?
That was terrible. And the women's voting thing. But other than that, that was awesome.
A few hiccups along the way, you know. Right. Like they say, nobody made it to the top without breaking a few pieces of china. That wasn't an insult, by the way.
When was America last great?
For me, I would say the turning point for our country was 1913, when we passed the 17th Amendment. And
so like back when like women couldn't vote?
Yeah, back up, but again, let's go back.
That's kind of your sweet spot right there?
Absolutely.
What year was America great?
When it was founded.
Except for the slavery stuff.
Except for the slavery stuff, you know?
I think we were probably our strongest immediately post-World War II.
So around the 1950s?
Yeah, mid-40s, 50s.
I mean, I think the 50s was great other than, segregation and women's rights.
Look, we could sit here and paint negative faces of all times in America.
Correct.
Make America great again. It's been his mantra since he's run in 2015. What does that mean? What is again? When was America great?
Well, that question right there says everything that I need to know about you, that you don't really think America was ever great at any time. I think America was great. The spirit, the whole purpose for America was about the American spirit, coming here and making something for yourself and having the opportunity to do that for yourself, to work hard. And that's what America is all about. So the people that hate America will always say, well, when was it ever great? It's just not a very good attitude to have, in my opinion.
And when was that lost in your estimation?
I think a lot of it was lost when the Federal Reserve took over the money system. We need to go back to a gold and silver-backed system where currency it counts.
Make America great again. What does that mean to you? What's the again?
To me, the again means that we have somewhere safe where we can have those freedoms that we are so lucky to enjoy. There are so many people throughout the world that do not have what we have, and it is a blessing. That's why we have people that want to be here, and we will fully encompass all of that greatness again.
When did we last have it, if it's again?
I feel like we did have that when President Trump was in office. I feel like we can work with what he built on in the first presidency and make it even better.
When he was running in 2016, it was before he'd even been president, but he was still saying make it great again. Again from when?
That is a good question. I would say if I could guess, it would be, and I think that they're very politically lined up, would be maybe with JFK. And when he was president, and what we embodied with some optimism and freedoms that we didn't have before, and trying to find that.
When was America last great?
4 years ago, or 3 years ago.
Well, he was saying it before he got there. He was saying make it great again. So he didn't think. What did that message mean to you then?
I felt President Reagan was an excellent president too.
And nobody between Reagan and Trump.
I am not a Democrat, so.
Well, you had George Bush there, and you had George Bush's son.
He was right, yeah, but I still liked President Reagan.
You wrote, I have a whole video where I talk about when America was great. It's a value thing, not a time period thing. Well, I guess perspective is everything, right, my friend? See, I used to think just like this. I used to believe with my whole heart that the United States was and is the greatest and most free country on the planet. And if it hadn't been for the happy accident of me going to a seminary where in classes of 50 people, there were 3 white folks, I would definitely still think the same way. See, I was given the gift of learning from and being in relationship with people that experience life in this country from a very different vantage point than I do. And though it took me a really long time to believe their experience, much longer than I'd like to admit, I eventually did, which eventually led me to view United States history and present through the eyes of people that do not experience life in this country the way I do. That gift made it so that I had a very different vantage point on American values than the ones that I grew up with. Rather than believing that this country was and is the most free, the greatest country this world has ever seen, I began to see that the values at the core, at the foundation of this country, have nothing to do with freedom for all people. Coming to that realization was incredibly disruptive for me, but I'm so grateful for it because it finally taught me the value of the saying that the truth will set you free.
Reasons why some view America as great founding ideas. The principle of liberty, equality, and democracy outlined in the Declaration of Independence and constitutions have been aspirational, influencing nations worldwide. The American Revolution was a significant step in promoting self-governance and the rejection of monarchy. At number 1, economic prosperity. The US emerged as an economic powerhouse, offering opportunities for innovation, entrepreneurship, and upward mobility for many. Industrial advancement and innovations like the internet, space exploration, and medicine have had a global impact. 2. Cultural influence. American music, cinema, literature, and technology have shaped global culture. The country has been a beacon of creative expression and freedom of thought. And number 3, civil rights movement. Despite a history of systemic inequality, movements like abolition of slavery, women's suffrage, and civil rights movements represent struggles toward a more inclusive society. At number 4, global leadership. After World War II, the US played a major role in rebuilding Europe, promoting international institutions, and advancing scientific research. America's humanitarian aid and leadership during crisis have saved millions of lives. And here are the criticism and complexities. 1. Historical injustice. The enslavement of African Americans, the genocide of indigenous people, and racial segregations are undeniable stains on America's history. Economic inequality and systemic discrimination persist, affecting marginalized communities. 2. Imperialism and foreign policy. Critics argue that the U.S. foreign policy has often prioritized self-interest over global justice, leading to wars, coups, and exploitations in other nations. Intervention in countries like Vietnam, Iraq, Libya, and Latin America have left controversial legacy. 3. Economic disparities. While the U.S. is wealthy, economic inequality has risen, with millions lacking access to healthcare, education, and housing. The American dream remains out of reach for many, especially minorities and immigrants. Number 4, inconsistent application of ideas. The ideas of liberty and justice has often been unevenly applied, with women, racial minorities historically excluded. A nuanced perspective, America's greatness lies in its potential and its constant effort of its people to bridge the gap between its ideas and realities. Movement for justice, equality, and progress have often come from those challenging the status quo. These are the key reflections. Was America ever great? Might better be reframed as what makes a nation great, and how can America continue striving towards that greatness? Greatness is not a fixed state, but an ongoing process, achieved through self-reflection, inclusion, and a commitment to justice. America's promise is significant, but fulfilling it requires addressing its flaws and ensuring its ideas benefit all. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like and share your thoughts in the comment box below. Until next time, cheers and have a good one.